Nope.
Growing up, New Year's was never a big holiday for me. My family never really hosted a party or anything, so my New Year's Eve tended to be just me watching TV until the clock struck midnight, and then it was off to bed. This continued into high school. By that point, I was tired of doing nothing on New Year's, but I didn't really have many friends, so there weren't a whole lot of options. It was my senior year of high school when I finally got invited to a New Year's Eve party. The invite came from Jake, one of my teammates on the track team. We talked a lot during practices and stuff, but we had never really hung out outside of school, which is why I was surprised when he texted me with the invite. I tried playing it cool, even though I was really excited to finally be doing something on New Year's. He told me it was just going to be a house party with a lot of kids from school and a few out-of-towners. I replied saying it sounded good, and I'd see him in a few days. New Year's Eve came, and Jake picked me up around 9 p.m. There were a few other guys in the car that I had recognized, but had never actually talked to. We just made small talk on the way to the party, and one of the guys asked me if I was going to try and find a girl at this party to kiss at midnight, and I jokingly said we'll see what happens. We eventually arrived at our destination. The first thing I noticed was that the party was quite large, with a ton of cars parked in the driveway and along the street. I had always been an introvert, so being around a ton of people like this was not really my thing, but I just kept reminding myself that this was way better than sitting home and doing nothing. At first, I was pretty uncomfortable being around a huge crowd, but I eventually calmed my nerves and started having some fun. I was dancing along to music with everyone else when I noticed this girl looking at me. Jake eventually noticed it too. "Hey man, that girl keeps looking at you. You should go talk to her." "I don't know, man. She might just be looking at someone else." "Dude, she was definitely looking at you. Just go talk to her. What do you have to lose?" "Fine, I will." I started heading over to her, but realized she wasn't there anymore. I turned toward Jake. "Hey man, that girl is gone. Did you see where she went?" "No man, sorry. I'm sure she'll be back. She probably just went to the bathroom or something." I decided to grab a drink while I waited for her to come back. 20 minutes passed by with no sign of her. Slightly disappointed, I headed to another room to get away from all the noise. I checked my phone, and it was almost 11. Looks like I won't be getting that New Year's kiss, I laughed to myself. I wanted to head back to the party when I noticed someone else had entered the room. I looked up from my phone and was surprised to see it was the same girl who was looking at me earlier.
"What are you doing in here all by yourself?"
she asked. I just needed to get away from the craziness for a bit.
"Yeah, I totally understand. Big parties aren't really my thing. So did you come here by yourself?"
"No, I came here with a friend from school."
"Oh, cool. I came here with my friend and her boyfriend, but they've been doing their own thing. My name's Amanda, by the way."
For the next 15 minutes, her and I talked. She told me that she was from out of town, about an hour away, which is why I had never seen her around. Eventually, I asked her if she wanted to dance, and she said yes. When we started dancing, I checked the time. It read 11:20. Things continued as normal for about 10 minutes till midnight. That's when I noticed Amanda started acting really nervous. "Are you okay?" I asked.
"Yeah, I'm fine,"
she said. But clearly she wasn't. For roughly the next 6 minutes, she kept checking her phone for the time and had a nervous look on her face. Amanda, if you're worried about the time, I'm sure everyone here will do a countdown to midnight.
I know, but it has to be exact.
What do you mean?
Never mind. Forget I said anything.
I checked my phone. 2 minutes to midnight. At this point, Amanda couldn't even focus. She was looking everywhere but at me. The countdown started. People were shouting all around me, but all I could focus on was Amanda. She looked absolutely terrified. Hey, are you sure you're all right? If you don't want to be here anymore, I won't be offended. I could hear the countdown reach 10. Amanda was now staring intently at the clock on her phone. At this point, the place was going crazy. The next thing that happened was kind of a blur. As soon as the alarm on my phone went off signaling midnight, Amanda went up to me and kissed me. It happened in an instant, and then she started to leave. I moved towards her to say goodbye when I noticed she was crying. Amanda, are you all right?
I'm sorry,
she said with tears in her eyes.
I didn't want to die.
With that, she ran through the crowd of people, and I lost sight of her. At the time, I couldn't even comprehend what had just happened. I tried looking for her outside, but she was gone. I eventually met up with Jake and got ready to go home. He asked me how my night was, and I told him that it was fun, but didn't mention Amanda. The whole situation was sort of freaking me out. The terrified look on her face and what she said. What the hell was she talking about? Did she think I was going to hurt her or something? And if she did, why would she kiss me? A few weeks went by, and I just tried to forget about the whole situation. I realized I forgot to ask for her number at the party, so I couldn't even get an explanation from her. I just wanted to know if she was okay. I tried asking around to see if anybody knew her, but nobody did. Months went by, and I was eventually able to move on. I started college in the fall and lived a pretty normal life. Then, 1 month until New Year's Eve, I got a text from an unknown number. It was Amanda. She wanted to meet up with me and talk. I was very surprised, but agreed. We met up on my campus. There was a range of emotions when I first saw her. I was excited to see her again, but also angry when I thought about the way she left me to worry about her with no explanation.
Hey, she said. Listen, I'm so sorry about leaving you at the party the way I did. I just felt so guilty for what I did to you.
What do you mean? And why did it take you so long to reach out to me? I was really worried about you for a long time afterwards.
I'm sorry, but I couldn't think of a way to explain it that you would actually believe.
Amanda, just tell me.
She stammered. You've had a curse placed on you.
I immediately started laughing. I'm sorry, but that's your explanation? You're right, I don't believe you.
I figured you wouldn't. I didn't either when I was first told, she replied. This curse, it only takes effect on New Year's Eve at midnight exactly. The person who carries the curse must kiss someone at exactly midnight on New Year's Eve, or they'll die.
At this point, I was more amused than anything. Go on, I laughed.
Whoever kisses the cursed person at midnight has the curse passed on to them. The only way to get rid of it is to kiss someone else at exactly midnight on New Year's Eve.
Alright, Amanda, and tell me this. What if I decide not to go out? You're telling me something is going to break into my house and kill me?
No, as long as you're inside your house at midnight, you're safe. I don't know why, but this thing, this monster or demon or whatever it is, it cannot enter your house. It can only hurt you if you're away from your house on New Year's Eve and don't kiss someone at midnight.
A demon that shows up to kill you if you haven't kissed someone at midnight. At this point, I was beginning to think Amanda was legitimately insane.
I know you think I'm crazy, but trust me, if you leave your house on New Year's Eve, you must kiss someone at midnight. Please, I don't want anything bad to happen to you.
I wanted to take this thing as a huge practical joke, but the look on Amanda's face was the same one she had at the night of the party. She looked terrified, and that in turn scared the hell out of me. Eventually, New Year's Eve night arrived, and Amanda's story was in the back of my mind. I wasn't going to leave my house anyways, because I didn't have any plans, but I was still a little freaked out. Nothing unusual was happening. I was watching New Year's Eve parties on TV when I decided to go to the kitchen to grab a snack. That's when I noticed someone standing in my front yard, staring at me. From far away, it looked like a girl. I figured I was just imagining things and went back upstairs. I came back downstairs an hour later, and she was still standing there in the exact same spot. At this point, I was completely freaked out. I was going to call the police when I realized what was actually happening. Good one, Amanda, I thought. Standing in my front yard on New Year's Eve just to scare me. I headed to my front door, opened it, and began walking toward her. Okay, you got me. I was freaked out. Now come inside, it's cold as hell out here. I was about 10 feet from her when I stopped dead in my tracks. From afar, it looked like a girl, but when I got close, I could immediately tell this thing wasn't human. Where hands should have been, there were claws, and there was just darkness where a face should be. Out of fear, I dropped my phone, and when I picked it back up, it read 11:59. Only 15 seconds to midnight. I immediately took off, sprinting toward my house. When I was almost to the door, I felt something grab me. Its claws around my leg felt like my soul was being ripped apart. I struggled to get back inside. I could feel myself slipping away. I don't know if it was more of the adrenaline or more of the fear, but I was able to get one last burst of energy and push my body past the door. I felt the thing let go of my leg. Immediately, I slammed the door shut and began to scream out of complete shock and fear. The next day, I contacted Amanda and told her I believed her. I can honestly say I don't blame her for putting this curse on me. You can't blame someone for not wanting to die. But I can't bring myself to put the curse on someone else. At least not yet. So I wait in my house on New Year's Eve. It's what I've done for the past 4 years. The demon waits in my yard every New Year's, just staring, waiting for me to come outside. I know I'll eventually have to go out there on New Year's and find someone to kiss. I now understand the pain Amanda felt having to put this burden on someone else. So if you see me at a New Year's Eve party and want to avoid me, I'll understand. But I also apologize in advance to whomever I end up kissing. I'm sorry. I just don't want to die. Hello, dear listener, and thank you for joining me in this week's video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to destroy that like button down below and subscribe for future videos if you haven't done so already. Before I sign out, I want to say thank you so much to everyone for an excellent year. Even though we were just a little bit shy of 8,000 subs before 2018, I'm still very impressed at how much the channel managed to grow in just the span of a year. I have already planned out some videos for 2018, and I'm excited to see what the future will bring. Until then, everybody, remember to stay safe out there, especially tonight. Oh, and before I forget, if you're still here and still listening, let me know down below which video was your favorite from 2017.